Good afternoon, everyone. Let's take a look and see what's going on with Bitcoin for the day. So, taking a look at our daily candle, we had a nice expansive candle again today. So to expect tomorrow and possibly through the weekend to not be as fun. It could be a lot of consolidation. We could get more of these type of candles, hopefully. So just be aware that, because we had such expansive candles that, the next upcoming days, especially since there aren't any Fed events, we could get some more compression candles. So that being said, let's take a look and see where we're at. So coming to the 12 hour, you can kind of see that we hit this 62,109 area right here. I've drew some of these, kind of like these order blocks here, so I'm kind of watching these areas so far, but, as, honestly, ideally, we are staying within this range like I wanted to see. This is the ideal situation that I was talking about. So you can see how, we're getting rejected off of this block right here. But we're staying above this 61,124 area. So this was ideally what I wanted to see. And if we can do this for the next couple of days until weekly candle close, this will be a really good sign for the bulls. Okay. Um, Going into the 4 hour, so not too much action happening. Definitely I can see that the volume's drying up, obviously. So, I would expect not a lot of movement through here. We could get that leg down. I know I talked about 60,700-ish area, which is kind of right smack in the middle of this order block right here. Um, but I would say like maybe watching for that. I know that there is some liquidity there, I believe. So look for like 60,750-ish for us to possibly revisit if we were going to move to the downside. I don't believe we're going to go further than that. Liquidity might tell us otherwise though, so we'll take a look and see. But I really like what range we're in right now. This is really good as far as a bullish range goes. And look at this, like even on the 1 hour, starting to get kind of this bullish triangle-ish formation here forming. So not a bad sign, guys. This is looking really good for the bulls. Yeah, and obviously it's broken by the 15 minute here, but you kind of see what type of, this is more of a bullish pattern, you could say. I mean, it could technically be, some sort of triangle if you were to pull it this way. I could see it like this, technically. Let's see, like that. And these do break up or break down. We are coming from a bullish environment, so I would expect it to be a continuation, and this would take you potentially up to where? Let's see. No. So this would take you up to 62.5, which is, honestly around right above that 62.235 level I was telling you guys to watch. So this could definitely be the case. Let's see where it would take us if we moved it down below here. So this would take us where? So right to about 60,510. So again, lining up with that 60,700 area almost. So measured moves are pretty amazing with where they play out to. Anyways, guys, that is what I'm seeing on the actual chart. Let's go ahead and dive into liquidity now. So taking a look at liquidity, when we look at our 4 hour here, we don't really have too much going up like we talked about. We have a little bit left to 63,000. Um, there is, a potential that some of our smaller time frames could drive us up. And it's mainly, you kind of have to zoom in. So once you zoom in, you can see that it's there. It's just not as concentrated as this block was or this block is, right? So there's just not a lot of, liquidity to get us back up to 66,000. We can zoom in though, we can see it there, so it is a possibility. But it's not quite there yet. But the more that we consolidate within this upper range right here, the more chance that we're going to get more liquidity added up on the 4 hour here. So it could possibly bring us up further. Now, looking at our 1 hour time frame. So our 1 hour time frame, let's take a look here. So we have this little speck around 59.3, which is not great, but we don't have to take it out right away, thankfully. This is a 7, so let's take a look and see. So even just checking on 50 and 100x, you can see how this 60,701 kind of aligns with that idea, right? So this is definitely an area of possibility. If we were to drop, like this symmetrical triangle were to break down, um, it could potentially visit here, but I would expect a bounce off of 60,005. I don't think we're going to get lower than that this week. I would expect us to bounce from here and just continue our way up, or just at least consolidate, ideally, right? So, not seeing anything too bearish. We could get a possible dump, which it would be like $1,000 dump, nothing major. Um, but this is more, this could technically be a head and shoulders as well. I'm seeing this more as a bullish flag, if anything, but I am very much open to the fact that this could drop down, take us to 60,005 or 60,750, like I was saying, and then coming back up, which would be fine. So, as you guys can see, our trend indicator has been showing that the 4 hour has been rising up. So it was at like a 1.8 or 2, and then now it's up to a 3. So, it's telling us that the 4 hour is bullish. Our daily's still at a -1, and then the 1 hour is neutral. So I'm still of the mindset, guys. Like I am still, micro and meso. I'm still in that more of a bullish state. I still believe that this is bullish consolidation here, even if we were to drop down to here. Unless we start losing weekly open, like I was telling you about, I am still of a mindset that we are bullish on the smaller time frames. Again, the larger time frames have to show us more strength, but the smaller time frames are looking pretty good. So going into our order book here, to match up with this, you can see how we have some orders down to 61,158. We don't really have too much. We have some around that 60,750, 60,005 area. Nothing major though. But you can definitely see how we have more orders to the upside. So it is alluding to the fact that, as long as these stay, more than likely we're going to come up and take them, just like we have been, right? So, very good sign for the Bulls. It looks like, sooner rather than later, we're going to at least see, upper 62,000 range to at least mid 62,000, and possibly even get closer to 63,000. So, it does look pretty bullish, at least for right now. Like I said, if we are going to be a little bit bearish, expect that drop to 60,000, at most 60,005. I wouldn't expect this line to get broken. So 60,515 would be at the very most, and then getting a bounce from there potentially. But anyway, guys, that's what I'm seeing for this evening. So one other thing I want to show you is the simple map on here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So the simple map, what is that showing? So the simple map is showing that we have some 100x to the upside. We have more 100x and 50x to the downside, though. So, again, lining up with that 60,000, 500-ish area, 60,700 area. So it is, kind of giving us some clues that there might be some, longs that get wrecked right here, or 100x, 50x on the smaller time frames before we get that move up. I wouldn't buy too much into like really dropping down. Like I said, we would have to lose that weekly open range between 59.5 and 59.8. So until then, I'm going to be looking for bullish setups. Looking at the macro time frame period here, you can see that we are at this node right here. We could drop, a little bit to even take out some of, and honestly, this is not even really showing it. It would still, I think, technically be a part of this node at the 25x here if we were to drop down just a little ways. So, still expect for us to slowly kind of work our way up, guys. I mean, even up to, it looks like 63,000 even before we have some headache to try to get above that. Anyways, guys, that is what I'm seeing in the market for right now. I hope you guys had a great trading day. Again, if you guys ever want to use Trading Different and its tools, I know I give you guys some really good updates and you get to see this chart often, but feel free to use my code Sean, to get 10% off. So tradingdifferent.com/code/Sean to get your 10% off of that. But with that being said, guys, that is all I have for you for today. I will do another 2 sessions for tomorrow, starting in the morning, but not too much has changed from my bias in the morning. Bitcoin is looking great in my opinion so far. So Again, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening and take care.